there is a game on the MLB slate where we think both starting pitchers are going to get shelled, but we start in the NBA playoffs. And Mark Zinno, what if I told you teams facing elimination are now a perfect 5-0 ATS in the first half this postseason? The Bucks yesterday covered not only the first half spread, but they obviously ended up winning the game outright. So my question to you, my good friend, do the Miami Heat actually have a hope in hell tonight?
Oh, God. I mean, it's just so bad to back that offense. I mean, it really is a very tough sell. And look, they were down by 10 in the first quarter at home to the Celtics and what was a very low-scoring second quarter where both teams combined for just 31 points. You know, it just – you're asking Miami to do something that they have not yet proven they can do, other than one game in Game 2 where they shot the lights out at a historic pace. They just don't have the offense. And so you're asking them to cover this number here where I'm not 100% sure that they can. I mean, you know me, BP. Like, when it comes to situations like this, the shorter I can make the game, the more favorable I think it is. Mm-hmm. You know, there's a part of me that says respond with Miami first quarter plus 4.5, because if they're down by 5 or 6 after the first quarter, there's probably a good chance they're going to be down by 5 or 6 after the second quarter, and you're not going to cover the number. If they can't start fast and keep themselves into this thing, then I don't like their chances the longer it goes, because my feeling is the longer the game goes, Miami's shooting likely isn't going to get better as it goes along. It might stay at the same level, right? But I don't think all of a sudden they're going to be shooting, you know, in the mid to high 30s and all of a sudden shoot up to, now they're hitting 55% from the field. I don't see that happening against this Boston team. So I look at this and I go, the shorter I can make this game, the less room Miami has to screw it up offensively. If they can start out hot in the first 12, I probably like them. I would like them a lot more to cover the first half number. But if they're not within 5 in the first 12 minutes, what makes you believe all of a sudden the second quarter they'd come out and go, oh, well, now we're going to turn it. We're going to outscore them 30-25 in the second quarter. Like, I just don't see that game script developing.
I concur with that. You talk about the lack of offense for Miami. Obviously, it's been a problem. No Jimmy Butler. I do have to say, though, Mark, I think both totals, not only Miami-Boston, but for Dallas Clippers as well, look a little low tonight. Go ahead.
I'm with your logic. Like, when we're getting to 199.5 in Boston, Miami, we're sitting here going, okay, like, at some point, Miami has to act like a regular NBA team and show that they can play. Well, Miami isn't actually fielding a regular NBA team other than Bam Adebayo and Tyler Hero. I mean, you know, the other 3 guys in the court may as well be selling shoes. So it's difficult to sit here. You're asking, and this is what I tried to do with my 5% play earlier in the week. You're asking Boston to do all the heavy lifting. Like, if you want this game to go over 190, Boston has to get to 110, because you have to assume Miami isn't clearing 90 all that much. And if that's the case, then I'd rather just rely on Boston to do it and hope Miami pushes the bit. Because if Miami's even pushing 90, Boston should be scoring at a rate where they're going to cover this thing. And that's really, you know, to cover a 14-point spread, if Miami doesn't get to 90, you got no shot here. Because, again, we've seen this. What happens? The pace just dies in the fourth quarter. There's no sense of urgency on either side to go get a bucket. It's not a college game where kids are, you know, still trying till there's under 2 minutes left. It's not it in the NBA. Now, Miami's facing elimination. That's the one thing you have here in your back pocket, that Miami would play a little bit harder in the fourth quarter and keep pushing. But if Boston has such a sizable lead, guess what? Sure, we'll go let you run down and have your 2, and we're just going to dribble out the next 24 seconds, you know, and hope, you know, if we make 1 out of every 3 or 4 shots, our lead is not going to go away that quickly. So it's a really tough sell.
Yeah, and the pace has been slow, as we've brought up before in the series. Team totals for the record: Miami 93.5, Boston 107.5. Major League Baseball now, shall we? A lot of daytime action on Wednesday, one of the many benefits of listening to the Morning Wagers. And one I have my eye on for today is in Seattle. 3:40 Eastern start between the Mariners and the Braves. And for the first time all season, the Braves are coming off back-to-back losses. Previous to yesterday, they were perfect 7-0 off a loss this season. But Tuesday's 3-2 defeat, that changes that. Very little offense from the Braves in this series so far. Just 3 runs in 2 games. You got to credit Seattle's pitching, which has been fantastic of late. In fact, both these teams have been under machines looking back over the last 10 days or so. The Braves, 9-0-1 to the under their last 10 games. The Mariners, 9 straight unders. But I want to look at the side. I do want to play the Braves here. The question is, how do you do it, right? There's a lot of different options. I say, let's chop the game in half, lay the half run in the first 5. It's only minus 130 to do that. I think that's manageable. I know Emerson Hancock has pitched very well for Seattle as of late, as have every starter in that rotation. But give me Chris Sale, .92 whip this season. And this Braves lineup, I still believe in. I think the road team can have a lead after 5 innings. So Braves first 5 minus a half at minus 130. My half of the double play. Zinno, for your half of the double play, I know you're turning to one of your favorite starters, Chris Bassett in Toronto.
Yeah, and I'm going to – Chris Bassett is a guy here that has been very good at home in his time in Toronto. I mean, just unreal numbers, and the guy doesn't lose. We talked about his last start last week on the morning wager here, and I told everybody I'm a little bit weary of stepping in front of the Dodgers, even though Chris Bassett was at home. And I was right, because he got rocked for 7 runs in 2 2/3 innings. So it feels like the perfect time to come back with him in his spot here to do what we expect him to do against the Kansas City Royals here. So I'm going to look to a first 5 under with Seth Lugo on the mound, who has been excellent with a 4-1 record, a 1.66 ERA, a 1.11 whip. He has done everything that you want the ace of your rotation to do. He's been great. He's gone at least 5 innings in every start. He's only allowed more than 2 runs in one of those 5 starts. It was the only game that he lost. It was to the Orioles back on April 21st. Other than that, he's shut everybody down. I know this is a very good Toronto lineup here, but Lugo is a guy who is limiting opposing hitters to a 184 batting average the first time through the order. And as long as he can get Toronto through the order once without getting too unscathed here, I think we look for a perfect situation to get 2 quality starters to go for a first 5 under. BP, not only is this a show play, it's also a client play today over at wt.buzz/MZ.
Show best bet time. We had the first 5 under in Royals Blue Jays yesterday. Nice win for us. But today, we're looking at another total, but it's full game, Mark, and we like an over as the Guardians take on the Nationals.
It's an interesting matchup here because Justin Verlander is on the mound for the Houston Astros. He's had 2 starts. He's been good in them both, but he's only lasted a combined 10 1/3 innings. And you're looking at a Guardians lineup that's one of the better ones in baseball. They're 92 runs scored, a 3rd overall in Major League Baseball. They're top 10 in OPS and WRC plus. Their batting average is, I think, 5th or 6th in Major League Baseball at this point through the year. We saw them put up 9 runs last night, lose a 10-9 game here. And so I trust the Guardians offense, and that's what I'm going here. And not only that, you're going up against a bad Astros bullpen. As long as you keep Verlander to under 6 innings, where you're going to get at least 10, 11 outs to face the Astros bullpen, I feel really good about the Guardians doing their half here to push this total over.
Tristan McKenzie, the starter for Cleveland, has not really been good. I was at the game last Thursday. He made it only through 4 innings, 3rd straight start where he failed to go longer than 5. He's got a 5.54 ERA, 1.846 whip in that stretch. The second thing I like here is we're getting a number at 8.5, Mark, as you know, right under that key number of 9. So over 8.5, Guardians Astros is your show best bet for Wednesday. Let us know what you think down in the comments section below. And if you like what you heard, go ahead, smash that like button. Give this video a thumbs up. We would greatly appreciate it. Be back with you on Thursday. Until next time, let's cash some tickets.